thank you very, very much. This week's parsha discusses a very important principle in Yiddishkeit. In Parshas Achrei Mos, Nadav and Avihu are killed, and the reaction of Aaron is described as a non-reaction. Vayidom Aaron, and Aaron was mute. Why did I highlight this point? And what do you have to do with little Aaron Nehemiah? Aaron is named after his great-grandfather, Aaron Halevi Goldsmith, who was nifted this year. Although his wife, Omar, would call him Arnie, short for Arnold, we did not think he would get very far with this Necheda system in Yerushalayim. So we went with a safer option. I want to give you a bit of a background as to the person who our son was named after. Before I start, I would like to thank my brother-in-law, Efren Goldberg, who helped gather a lot of this information about him. Aaron was born in Fulda, Germany in 1922. His father died when he was 9 years old, leaving him the man of the house responsible for helping to raise his younger sister and brother, together with him, his mother, with whom he grew exceptionally close. In November 9, 1938 is a night that will go down in infamy. A German diplomat had been assassinated. In response, the Germans rose up in a pogrom against their Jewish neighbours, resulting in thousands of stores being destroyed and Jewish businesses being destroyed. Thousands of Germans were deported. One of the towns that had a quota to round up and sent to concentration camp was Fulda. Aaron was 16 years old, just a boy. He never should have been included, but one of the rabbis of the town hid even one more spot, so the Nazis took Aaron to Buchenwald. He spent 6 very long and torturous weeks there, in which he saw and experienced unimaginable suffering that haunted him for the rest of his life. Because of his young age, Aaron qualified to go on a kinder transport, and so he returned home for a very short time before leaving with his younger sister and brother to Holland. Soon after he arrived, Aaron found someone willing to sponsor an applicant for him to come to America. He called a relative in New York, the Rosenwalds, who were part owners of Sears Roebuck and Company. There was only one problem. Shabbos was the busiest day of the week in the retail business, and would only agree to bring him to America to work for them if he would commit to work on Shabbos. A small price to pay for saving his life, they felt. They didn't just ask for a verbal commitment. They wanted him to sign a contract that he would work on Shabbos before they would go ahead and sponsor him. 16-year-old Aaron did not know what to do. On the one hand, obviously his life lay in the balance, and even at the young age he knew well that one should violate all but the 3 cardinal sins to save one's life. On the other hand, he was raised in a religious community and deeply committed family. He pictured his father and his mother with whom he had separated. He did not know what to do. 16-year-old Aaron took an impossible dilemma about signing a contract that he would work on Shabbos to a Rav. The Rav told him unequivocally that he must sign, since it's the only way to save his life. But then the Rav took the teenager's hand and held it in his own and said, "Look me in the eyes and promise me that you will always keep Shabbos." The boy said yes, signed the contract, and shortly after set sail for America. When he arrived on Ellis Island, he was placed in a holding cell. As a minor, the immigration judge was not prepared to allow him to entrance and said unless someone comes to take responsibility for him, he would be sent back to Germany. Thank God the Rosenwalds soon came and completed the necessary paperwork to take Aaron with them. For 6 months they helped him and supported him while he went to school to learn English, American history and American culture. The day arrived, dreaded, finally arrived, and the Rosenwalds told him he would have to go to work. "Apply yourself, work hard 7 days a week," they told him, "and you'll have a bright future in our company and can earn a great living." They wanted to send him to the headquarters in Minnesota and reminded him about his commitment to work on Shabbos. Once again, he was faced with an impossible choice: to honor his word and dishonor the Shabbos, or to violate his commitment but stay true to his values. He turned to the Rosenwalds and said that while he feels terrible and apologizes from the depth of his heart, he simply cannot work on Shabbos. What about the commitment, they challenged him? He explained that he had an even higher commitment and he couldn't violate it. They told him, "This is your only chance. If you don't work on Shabbos, we will have nothing to do with you." And so it was. He was 16 years old, utterly on his own, and with absolutely nothing to his name and nowhere to go. He found a job assembling wallets in a factory that allowed him not to work on Shabbos. It wasn't before long that he learned that the Nazis had taken over Holland, and sent his sister and brother first to Bergen-Belsen and then to Sobibor, where they met their creator. His beloved mother was taken to Rigo Ghetto, where she also died. Aaron was lifted this year at 92 years old. He came to America as a 16-year-old boy with absolutely nothing. He had lost his father at 9 years old and everything else in the Holocaust. And after surviving the worst atrocities, he's buried a child and grandchild as well. He had every excuse in the world to abandon the Munah, to reject Hashem, to violate Shabbos, and to put Judaism behind him. But he didn't. Vayidom Aaron. And Aaron was silent. He accepted what Hashem gave him, but most of all, to cleave to Hashem as his best friend. Not only did he not reject Hashem, but the longer he lived, the closer he got with him. He used to refer to God, to Hashem, as Hashem Yisbarach, and he talked about him like they were best friends. Oprah was asked why he merited such longevity, and how he was blessed to literally create generations that are proud, observant Jews. His answer came immediately. It's because I chose to keep Shabbos in the most difficult of circumstances, and it's because my family saw me choose life and choose happiness, and choose to be close with Hashem Yisbarach, despite everything I went through. Oprah was no shrinking violet, and not the cuddly little grandpa you hear in the storybooks. He was a 6 foot tall, 6 foot wide, German accented man, wearing sunglasses wherever he went. At one of our family simchas, one of my friends thought he belonged to the mafia, but I quickly explained he was my relative and not to worry. When I first came into the family, I got quite a shock after our first meeting. As I spoke with Oprah, the infamous topic of Parnassah came up, and he made the meeting that I had with my father-in-law look like an Oneg Shabbos. I appreciated the grilling, but was comical after, discussing my plan for a number of minutes with him, in which he sat silently listened. He turned to me and said with a heavy German accent, "I have not a clue what you said. I just don't understand your accent." Oprah took this internal strength he had and put it towards Avodas Hashem. We chose Nehemiah for 2 reasons. First, since Batira, this year we wanted our son to be an Nechama for his great loss. More importantly, Nehemiah in life is the story of a great man who comes to Eretz Yisrael from Babel and inspires the Doros to Yeshiva Eretz Yisrael. The story of Nehemiah is the story of the Jewish people returning to Eretz Yisrael, only to be greeted by their enemies who terrorize them and threaten their existence in Eretz Kodesh. Oprah went through this incredible torture in his own life, but what better revenge against our enemies is having a great-grandson born in Eretz Yisrael, in Yerushalayim Kodesh, practicing the same Yiddishkeit he fought to keep. May my son follow in his great-grandfather's path in having such a love for Hashem and to continue in the same fighting spirit that his Oprah has. We would like to thank all the friends and family who came specially for her. Some I haven't seen in many years, and I really, really appreciate you coming. And we only continue to share simples together. I would also like to thank my parents who constantly are there for us, and I have to say, are great entertainment for our kids. The continuous patience and love you show with our kids is much appreciated, and will be appreciated this afternoon as well. We would also like to thank my mother-in-law, first of all flying out here for the simcha, but more importantly being a massive help for both my wife and myself. You always tell us that you live your dream in Yeshiva Eretz Yisrael through us, and we really appreciate your support. We are sorry Abby could not make it, but I'm hopefully for the next one. No pressure. Finally, thanks to my wife. First of all, she did not give birth in the car this time, which made it much easier for both me to clean up and to resell the car in future. Although she was close to it, we managed to leave the car with 10 minutes to spare before the birth of our child. You're an amazing mother and wife and provide support for our kids in every way possible. I know that you'll be there for me to tell me if my ideas don't make sense and I need to go back to the drawing board. And when they do make sense, you're there backing me until the end. Your constant avodas Hashem is amazing for our kids to see, and your hunger for constant self-improvement is admirable. I would like to share one example of this. During the first labor of our son Mordechai, and obviously I was new to marriage, for some reason I told her that I was proud of her and she was doing a great job. Her reply was short and sweet. "So you should be proud of me. I would like to see you do this." I learned after that, with every other bird, to keep my mouth shut. However, Michal did not see it that way and went out of her way to make sure that I felt comfortable at the following verse and initiated conversations with me in order to make me feel comfortable, except the one in the car and this one that I missed. Anyway, that's for another time. May Hashem give you strength to continue in your amazing ways and help you achieve a full recovery as quickly as possible. Finally, we would like to thank Kodesh Baruch Hu. His hand is always guiding us. We feel his Ashgacha constantly in our lives.